Good day, friends. Thank you for your patience. For those who have been waiting for the next video, life just life happened as it does, and for most of you, it will be a completely non-issue as you are watching this recording down the road. But for a few of you, I just wanted to say thank you for your patience. And as part of this movement and this work is self-reflection. It is also like not at all surprising to me that that my body and life glitches happened before the kings and the masculine royals of air and fire, because sitting in that kind of leadership and power are things that I have a very relationship with. In palmistry, there is something called the reluctant leader that I learned from Stephanie Alvedrez when getting a reading one time, and the more she talked about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me that I have that at all. No surprises. So all that to say, as you're doing this work and going through these videos and through the cards and continuing on your exploration and study, yes, notice the cards that, come up frequently for you, but also notice the cards that you forget. Notice the cards that you have some resistance to for whatever reasons, because there is information to be gleaned there also. So I do not think that in this series, I have done an entire warm-up lying down. So I am going to do that today. And you do whatever your body needs. I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to try to see where you will get the best vantage point. I'll get it figured out. I will. All right. Starting with your full body scan. Noticing where there's tension, noticing where there's relaxation. Noticing how your body and where your body is contacting the floor. And waking up the bottoms of your feet. When you're lying down, because the floor is supporting so much of your body weight, you can really feel movement through the torso and spine, as well as noticing when and how you might have some interesting tension. And I have a habit of cocking my chin out. Do you have that same habit? You may want to try putting your hands behind your head or getting a thin book to do so and relax that neck. Ankles. Because when you're lying down, there can be this, I have a tendency of wanting to add tension to other parts of my body that are not necessary nor helpful. And again, when you're lying down and doing these, there is a elongation and bringing back with the heel, but also with with making sure that the opposite foot has good contact with the floor. You can also extend the legs up and drop the knees out and to the sides and in and out. That's also another lovely way to wake up those knees. And if your legs are up already, whew, it just feels so lovely to give them a little shake. This is also a good way to start waking up those hips when you're lying down. Because when you're lying down and getting to the hips, it can help to start with what Feldenkrais calls the pelvic clock, going between 12 and 6, which of course affects the rest of the spine. And then going between 3 and 9. There's a little bit of a gentle rock to it. It might seem from the video that the movement is being initiated by my knees, but it is not. The knee sway is simply a byproduct of changing where the weight is between one side and the other. And actually, if you're having trouble with this, you can 100% get your hands involved and put them on your front pubic bones and give a little bit of gentle rock. And if you do that, you can notice when your hip flexors want to start to clench. And then combining to bring these into a circle as big or as small feels good for your body today. It is fast or as slow as it wants to be, because it's different. And here you can also bring your knees up and roll them around and about in circles as well. Oh. Always allowing sound to fall out of your body. Noises. And if you've been doing really big movements, try doing really small movements. Notice what you notice. Waist. For those lying down, waist is more about stretching, contracting on the sides. If you really want to like come up and do a bit of a crunch, you absolutely can. If you are doing that, as you are coming around to the front, keep your pelvis neutral. So not with an arch nor with a concave, but keep that pelvis neutral and bring your belly button to your spine as you come up and over. But again, we're wanting the impulse for this movement to be at the rib cage. It can be really easy to have the movement feel like it's being originated from the head when lying down. And shoulders. When lying down, you are raising and lowering your shoulders. You're working with it. We don't have gravity as our friend, but lying down, the arm sweeps. Absolutely happen. And it's actually a really lovely way to notice when you come in contact with furniture in your in your space. Hello, things. That might be shaking the camera a little bit. But also to really feel into what I talk about when we're standing, about bringing that arm across the chest rather than coming forward and back. Although if your body is wanting some forward and back, when you can bring your arms up. Again, find this comes from Pilates. Arms up, neutral pelvis, being aware of your rib cage so that that also stays in alignment, and dropping your arms back just as far as they can go before your chest tries or your ribs try to get involved. You can also bring the arms out to the sides and with cactus arms, do rotations here. And these are also something that you can do standing. But the nice thing about doing these while lying down is that you get a lot of sensory feedback to when your spine is trying to get involved in arching or concave ways to really work on that alignment. Neck. And you may find that you want to change your leg position if they've been up. You may want to extend them or drop the knees into constructive rest. When working with the neck on the floor, I do not recommend lifting up to do this because it's so, when lying down, it is so effort filled. If your body does want to have some of the downward stretching here, I recommend putting your hands behind your head, engaging that core to have belly button to spine, this sort of scooping down, back, and up. So you're doing like an internal swoosh. And on an exhale, letting the hands take the weight of the head so that the neck can get a stretch. And then when you let the head back down, doing it slowly and gently and releasing the head from the hands as you go. So I'm actually like pulling up and back, really elongating that neck as I go. Into the head. Making our little circles with our noses. And when you're lying down, you also get all of this feedback from the back of the head. And if you want to bring your hands to the side of your neck to make sure it's not getting involved, save to be a relaxed, open channel. And then take a few moments to do whatever it is that your body wants or needs to do next. Stretching, shaking, writing, stillness. Taking a good look at the kings, masculine royals, to sear their images into your mind so that you don't need to reference the cards as we start to go through the shapes, that you can just trust your body to remember and take a shape. My shoulder blades. Whew. Not sure what I've been doing that's getting in and around my right scapula in particular. Super tight, but whew, got it. Got it. Grab a drink of water. And listen to your body as to where you want to breathe air today. If you want to close your eyes, you may. If you want to move, you may, especially when we get into the place where by poor breathing air, we practically evaporate in to the air ourselves. Bring your attention to your breath. Bring your attention to your skin. Imagine the air all around you. Visualize all of the qualities, colors, shapes, smell, textures of air. The ones that we can put names to. And the ones that are just sensations. Yellows, clear, light blue, silvery shimmer, intelligence, ideas, curiosity, sharp, definitive, uncertain, once you have filled the space around you with all of these qualities of air, open up all of the pores on your body, drinking them in, breathing them in, your front body pores, your back body pores, side body, Bringing it all in from 360 degrees, the hidden places and the exposed. All of the pores. Breathing in it. Breathing in it. Breathing in it. And as you're ready, bring this airy body into the first shape of the king. Breathe into it. Notice if there's a move or a gesture. Notice what your eyes are doing. And take your next shape. Breathe into that shape. Noticing if there's a move or a gesture, or a sound or a song that wants to come from this shape. And then link the two shapes, going from one to the other. And as you're ready, take your third shape. And notice if that shape has a movement or a gesture to it. And add it in to your series. Playing with how you get from one shape to another. changing up the order if you have yet to do so. Playing with tempo. And let that go. Notice what's different. Notice what's the same. Take some time to write or dictate, or just sit with our Shakespeare quote for the King of Quills, Richard II and Henry Bolingbroke. Here, cousin, seize the crown. On this side, my hand, and on that side, yours. Now is this golden crown like a deep well that owes two buckets, filling one another, the emptier ever dancing in the air, the other down, unseen, full of water. That bucket down and full of tears am I, drinking my griefs, while you mount up on high. This comes from Richard II. One more time. Here, cousin, seize the crown. On this side, my hand, and on that side, yours. Now is this golden crown like a deep well that owes two buckets, filling one another, the emptier ever dancing in the air, the other down, unseen and full of water. That bucket down and full of tears am I, drinking my griefs, while you mount up on high. Find your way to where your body wants to breathe for fire. Look at how our two kings and masculine royals sit back to back in this way. Fascinating. So, whatever shape your body wants to be in today, for breathing for fire. And bring your awareness to your body. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice whether you knew exactly what shape you wanted to be in for this, or if it took a little while to settle and find where your body wants to be. Excuse me, right now. And invite fire into the space around you, filling the room or kinesphere. The heat, the reds, yellows, oranges, whites, butane blues, the sound, the crackles and hisses. Feel the heat even before those pores open up. Remember what it's like breathing in through your nostrils, that fire, and how it singes and wakes up the inside even before we open up all of those little pores on our skin, just bringing, invoking, inviting fiery gin and salamanders, drive, energy, determination, will, fuel, energetic fuel into the space around you. Lust, exuberance, sensations that you have and don't have names for. Transformation, consumption. And bringing your awareness back to your skin, to every single little pore, from the very top all the way down to the very bottom, back, front, side, hidden, exposed. Open them up and breathe in fire, breathing all of that energy that has been surrounding you into your core, into your spine, into your blood, through your core. And as you're ready, let this fire energy bring you to your first shape. Breathe into that shape. As you change shapes, notice what pores find it easier to drink, easier to breathe in fire. And maybe this shape has a movement or a gesture. Micro gestures are so welcome. the smoldering coal. And when you are ready, take a second shape. And breathe into that second shape, whether it is abstract or literal. And go from shape 1 to shape 2. And if you find that your shapes are dominated on one side of the body, what would it be to switch sides? Does switching sides make it feel more or less fiery? And add in your third shape. And maybe your third shape has a movement or a gesture. And add it into the rotation. Moving from one shape to another. How can you contract and expand into each shape? Contract and expand into each shape. Playing with order, with expanding and contracting. And let that go. Notice what's different. Notice what's the same. If you notice that you still have a whole lot of energy that you are moving through and take some time to ground. One of my favorite ways of grounding is to literally get down in the floor in child's pose. For those of you who have a yoga background, for those of you who don't, kneeling either with your knees together or apart, whatever feels best for your body, and then coming forward and literally putting your forehead onto the ground. Because we have been moving fire, I like to put my hands in the alchemical sign of the triangle and place them on the floor or in front of me as well as I exhale and let energy both exit from my third eye and forehead as well as from my root down to the ground and through my hands and through the tops of the legs and feet. Sometimes, since the soles of the feet are up, the air will also evaporate some of that. Mm. Grab a drink of water. Ask your body what it needs to come fully back to you. And our final Shakespeare quote for this comes from King John, which interestingly was the very first Shakespeare play I ever read. I know, I'm strange. I started with King John, from Philip the Bastard and King John. But wherefore do you droop? Why look you sad? Be great in act, as you have been in thought. Let not the world see fear and sad distrust govern the motion of a kingly eye. Be stirring as the time. Be fire with fire. Threaten the threatener and outface the brow of bragging horror. So shall inferior eyes that borrow their behaviors from the great grow great by your example and put on the dauntless spirit of resolution. Oh, 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 oh. I may read that 2 more times. But wherefore do you droop? Why look you sad? Be great in act as you have been in thought. Let not the world see sad distrust govern the motion of a kingly eye. Be stirring as the time. Be fire with fire. Threaten the threatener and outface the brow of bragging horror. So shall inferior eyes that borrow their behaviors from your great grow great by your example and put on the dauntless spirit of resolution. But wherefore do you droop? Why look you sad? Be great in act as you have been in thought. Let not the world see fear and sad distrust govern the motion of a kingly eye. Be stirring as the time. Be fire with fire. Threaten the threatener and outface the brow of bragging horror. So shall inferior eyes that borrow their behaviors from the great grow great by your example, and put on the dauntless spirit of resolution. So mote it be. Mm, 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 mm. And you may want to shake out before coming to find a an energized neutral, and let your body choose which shape it's gonna seal in as the king masculine royal of swords. And breathe into that shape. Three intentional breaths. And let that go. And let your body tell you which shape to seal in for the King of Rods, of scepters, of wands. And give it 3 intentional breaths. And here we go. Getting ready to go through Ace of Swords, of Quills, all the way through to the King, more masculine royal. And decide what shape, not shape, which trajectory, which level you want to start at today. Seated, standing, lying down. Maybe you want to change it up. Maybe you want exact repetition. Ace of Swords. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Page, Knight, Queen, King, Queen, Knight, Page, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace, king, ace, king, ace, queen, ace, queen, knight, king, knight, king, page, king, 10, king, 9, king, 8, king, 7, king, 6, king, 5, king, 4, king, 3, king, 2, king, ace. And let that go. Notice how your body wanted to go through that story. Maybe write about it, maybe dictate about it. Grab a drink of water if you need. And get ready to do the same for wands, rods, scepters. Fire in my belly like the fire. Fire in my soul. And ace. 2 of wands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Page, knight, queen, king, queen, king, knight, king, page, king, 10, king, 9, king, 8, king, 7, king, 6, king, 5, king, 4, king, 3, king, 2, ace, king. Thank you all so much. It has been an absolute pleasure sharing these classes with and for you. Have a beautiful day, and I hope to see you all, and maybe some in real life, for moving through the minors, water, and earth, cups and pentacles, coming spring of 2023.